Anyway, most of you guys I'm pretty familiar with, if not all of you, through the various forums and phone calls and emails and such. But if you don't, my name's Dave Potter. I'm the offense coordinator at Cary High School in Cary, North Carolina. And this presentation is installing an offense at the youth level. And this this presentation is specifically for coaches who coach youth football and are getting ready to implement the choice of an offense and how to go about putting it in. Things to consider. The clinics that I've done over the years are normally not youth specific, can be used at a variety of levels, but this is something that is the most recent clinic that I've come up with and is aimed specifically for youth coaches. A little bit about my background. Well, this is my mantra about clinics. Coaches that attend clinics are usually the ones who need them the least. It's the coaches who need them the most who aren't here. My background, live in Durham, North Carolina. I've been coaching youth football for 18 years. Started back in 1997 with the Durham Eagles Athletic Association. They're a Pop Warner youth football organization here in Durham. I stopped coaching with them as a head coach back in 2010, but I still work with the organization. I am what is known as their lead coach. I'm responsible for coaches training, recruiting coaches. I still attend some of their practices, at least one practice a week, going to the various teams, watching their drills, making sure everything's being executed in a safe and responsible manner. So I still do stay connected with the youth game. I was a head coach for that within that organization for 12 years. Coached most of the age groups in Pop Warner. Was a head coach for 4 years with the 7 to 9 year olds, for 4 years with the 8 to 11s, for 3 years the 9 to 12s, and for 1 year with the 12 to 15s. Coached middle school football for 3 years in 2006, 7, and 8. This was while I was also coaching youth football with the Durham Eagles. So I was a header with the Durham Eagles, and I was an assistant coach at middle school for these 3 years. The neat thing about having coached middle school football is we ran the double wing, and we were running the same double wing at Rogers Herr Middle School and Lowe's Grove as we were with my youth team. So the ability to learn an offense and be able to get twice as much double wing over the course of the same season with different kids, different aged kids, was an incredible learning opportunity and really helped grow my learning of the offense. Been coaching high school football since 2009, so I'm getting ready to go into my 6th year with high school ball, and was a head coach for a couple of years in Durham at Kestrel Heights High School. But for the bulk of my career spent with the Durham Eagles Athletic Association. From 2000 to 2010, we won 10 CFF championships. We went undefeated 8 times, top 16 in the nation. In Pop Warner vernacular, what that essentially means is we're 1 game away from going to Florida. Let's see, 33 consecutive wins from 99 to 2003. We followed that up with 34 consecutive wins from 2005 to 2009. And the overall span from that period, we went 91-3 in the CFF. We had the only undefeated midget team in our organization's history, and we were undefeated at home. We never lost a game at Lowe's Grove Middle School for the 12 years that I was there. And we had 44 Pop Warner Academic All-Americans, which is something that I was really proud of our kids for being able to accomplish. The Cary offense came to Cary High School this past season. In 2012, their JVs, of which I was the offensive coordinator, not in 2012 though, they won 1 game, scored 49 points on the season, averaged 5.4 per game, and they were last in the league in scoring. We came in 2013, put in the double wing, won 6 games. We scored 294 points, 29-4 a game, and we were first in the league in scoring. So in talking to our kids about what the difference was and why were we so much better offensively than we were in 2012, and the reason that they gave me, well, is we rushed for 3,049 yards. That's not the reason. The reason they gave me was when I asked them what was different, they said that I paid attention to the offensive line. So in other words, we had a comprehensive plan for our offense that focused on our offensive line. And in youth ball, we know that the way it's usually done is the least experienced coach ends up getting stuck with the offensive lineman, and really the only things he knows a lot of times is how to teach them to get in a three-point stance and to fire out straight ahead and do what? Block somebody. And that's about the extent of it. And that's a surefire recipe for disaster. So you have to focus on that offensive line. So here we go, installing an offense, step-by-step breakdown. Part one, you have to know your scheme. Now, that's a pretty obvious statement, I think, to make. I think we all understand you have to know your scheme. But knowing it and really putting that into play, I think, are two completely different things. There's a lot of axioms in football that we all know, we all accept as being truths, like low man wins. But are these things the things that we actually implement? So the things I want you to pay attention to are question yourself, is this something I implement? If it's something that you believe in. Now, if you don't believe in it, then by all means, don't implement it. But if you agree with this, like you have to know your scheme, then make sure that this is something that you implement. Do you really know the scheme? And here's how you can tell. First thing that I hear when I interview coaches in the Durham Eagles organization, prospective coaches, I ask them about what's your offensive scheme going to be. And they inevitably say, I'm going to wait and see what my talent is before I decide what to run. Well, your talent does not determine which offense you run, because you're not going to have time to see what shows up and then decide which offense to install. But offenses aren't learned in a week, and much less how to teach them. Different offenses have different blocking schemes, and none of them feature just hit the guy in front of you. You determine your offense, but it's your talent that determines how you're going to feature it and what adjustments you're going to make to it, but not which offense you run. In youth ball, you're probably going to feature a ground-based attack anyway, so pick one and just learn it. I run a ground-based attack at Cary High School, which is the double wing. But if I had a good passer and I had good receivers, we'd still be running the double wing. We'd just be the best passing double wing offense in the country. Talent does not determine what I run. Talent determines how we run what we already run and what our emphasis is going to be on. So if I have a coach saying, well, I'm going to wait till my talent shows up to decide which offense that I'm going to run, that tells me he probably doesn't know how to run an offense.